Do you get that? Wait, is that Starfield?
Yeah, it's actually in Starfield.
That is such a good background. Pick North
Today
Crew,
we're
what's up?
today we're
It's
sponsored by Sidrol Mundet.
what is that?
Actually, today we're sponsored by Disney.
It doesn't pop up.
God dang it! Stupid video effect.
This is a Mexican soda.
It's an apple flavored soda.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, big fan.
Pick North Crew,
Now I'm in
welcome.
New York City.
Your background makes you feel so sophisticated, Luke.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess Pick North Crew. I guess we're gonna go on life updates, right?
Yeah. Luke,
Luke,
what's life like?
It's going. I now work at the ESPN Wide World of Sports. So you could say I'm an ESPN employee, which is pretty
no
dope.
way, are you really?
Nice. We have our own ESPN analysts here.
Holy crap!
I'm not gonna go that far. But, no, I mean I do stuff for like stuff that's like strictly at the sports complex. But obviously ESPN is a Disney-owned company, and we do have production people. I think they use like the production center at the complex. I'm pretty sure they use it for like regional stuff for the state of Florida because we have to like set stuff up every Saturday for them from now until November.
That's cool.
So I think they actually use it for some sort of production for college football. To what that actually is, I have no idea. But
Wow, that is actually very cool.
How's married life?
Married life is good. We just celebrated our 3-year anniversary this past Wednesday, right? Yeah.
Dude,
So
that's
September
crazy.
6th, 3 years. Yeah, I know. It's been crazy. It's been fun. Obviously, I'm sure you guys know it's hard, but always.
R.I.P. to Emily Barnes.
I know. Yep.
Amazing. R.I.P.
What about you guys? What's going on?
Yeah, sure. How's 4 weeks, a month into being married?
Yeah, 2 days ago was 1 month.
Nice, dude. How cool.
It was very not like, it's like when you first start dating, you do like 1 month anniversary or whatever, and it's like kind of fun. And this was just very like, here's some flowers. But I'm sure the year-long ones will be more fun. But
yeah,
no, life is pretty good. I feel like we're settled in a little bit more, and it's been a ton of fun. I would say time is what is really, really tricky and really hard to nail down. Figuring out time. So
what's she doing right now?
Grace is in the OT school at Ohio State. So she'll graduate in 2025. And then after that, hopefully get a job. But until then, school.
What's her week look like with school? Like, is she there every day or what?
Yeah, she's there almost every day, but like on Wednesday she does like a field work thing. So she's like gone at a hospital, doing stuff at a hospital for like 7 to 4. But every other day it's just like classes and stuff. But in a few months, well, actually starting next year, from like January till April, she'll be living in Cincinnati for 4 months.
Oh,
so,
dang.
Yeah,
what's that gonna look like? Are you gonna go back and forth? I'm assuming go back and forth a little bit, but
no clue. I have no clue what that's gonna look like. But she's a quality time person, so that's really gonna be tough on her. And that'll be tough on me too for sure. But she's like, even when it's like, because we're still in our honeymoon phase, so it's like even when there's a few days where we like don't get to fully spend time with each other, she's like feeling it big time.
Yeah. No, I mean, Alice and I have done that a lot too since we've been married, just with her job and everything. But as hard as it is and can be. I also think there's like a lot of fun that comes with it of like then I would go and visit her in Parkersburg, West Virginia, which Cincinnati's much better than Parkersburg, West Virginia, so you'll have more to do, but like
it very much so.
right. So like we would go like I'd go and hang out with her for the whole weekend and like then it's just like you're doing little trips and so that's I think there's still a lot of fun to be had with it because I'm quality time person too, and so yeah, I think it will be hard for sure, but I think there'll be fun that comes from it.
Is there any
Yeah.
opportunity for you to possibly like work remotely like every once in a while, Shar? I'm not sure like what your guys' setup look like or
I think we definitely could, but I just think it's gonna be such a busy season at work that I'm just like, I don't know if that's gonna be an option.
Yeah.
But also, like she's gonna be living with her mom. She's gonna be living back at home for 4 months.
Right.
You know, so there's a part of me too that's like maybe I can. Her mom is super excited that she's coming back for 4 months. Grace is not, so I think it might just be better for me to give them their space a little bit and have her mom kind of enjoy this last 4 months because really, realistically speaking, like in the grand scheme of things, this is not a huge deal. So
sure.
Yeah.
You might have already had them, but 2 shout outs to Cincinnati food. Have you ever had Pep and Dolores?
Yes.
Dude, the bomb. Like this lemon pasta.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Then,
I had it for our New Year's last year. It was incredible.
So good. So good. And then 2, have you had City Bird?
City Bird?
Yeah.
No.
I'm a big fried chicken sandwich guy and
you're a chicken guy, you could say.
I'm a chicken guy, you could say. favorite fried chicken sandwich, chicken guy in Disney World. Is it the best? Probably not, but it's my favorite. No,
Alex,
you're wrong. You're wrong.
Alex, there's also this really esteemed Cincinnati establishment called Skyline Chili.
Oh, you know what? I have heard of that place.
Not sure if you've ever tried it or not.
Dude,
we're actually getting one down here.
Like, oh, there is one? Wow.
Well, how many Michelin stars?
At least 7 out of 5. No, but there actually is one. There's a guy that I used to work with at the water parks. His old roommate is actually from Cincinnati, and he's opening up a franchise with his dad. It's like right across from like the college program, the new college program housing, like right over where we used to live.
He's gonna make a ton of money.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I can't wait till it opens. It's supposed to open like 2 years ago, but it still hasn't opened. So
he's gonna make a ton of money on that Skyline bar, breaking up that chocolate milk money. Word. It's gonna be amazing.
Word.
Nick, how are you doing?
I'm good. Here, let's see if you can see. Just got a fence put in the other day.
Oh, dude, you have a
house.
Good.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. But man, it needs some sanding because if you touch that thing, you will get splinters in your hands. And by splinters, I mean wood stakes. Just like they are. Whew. But no, it's good and like it's fun to have a yard with Gracie being able to run around and stuff. But
are you guys gonna stain it at all?
Huh?
Are you guys gonna stain the fence?
Yeah, I'm gonna sand it and then we're gonna stain it.
Can you let me and Shar choose the color right now? Can you commit to that?
I think you should do a pride colored one.
Yeah. Rainbow. Shout it from the rooftops.
I think it would be pretty amazing.
You are in Chicago, so
that's true. I'm in the city of love.
Hey, is
that what it's called?
I don't know. There is a city called the City of Love, but it's not Chicago, I don't think.
I think it's Pickerington, Ohio.
Well, that's true. I told
Pizza Cottage.
Is Ian and Roto still working there, or is that? I'm sure the guy who picks cheese up off the floor and puts it on pizzas, I'm sure he still works there.
Yeah, yes.
But I was gonna say, I told Luke this already, but the other day I went to meet with Moody Bible Institute about like partnering with IFI, and I was there and I'm talking with this guy and we hit it off. Like it was fun and a good conversation and stuff. And at the end of the conversation, he goes, uh, hey, what are you doing in like an hour? Would you be interested in coming to my class and speaking with my class or in front of my class for like 30, 45 minutes? I was like,
What?
I mean, I don't feel qualified or prepared for that, but sure. And so I did, and it was super fun. But yeah, so it was a super cool connection, and like basically they do this where uh they have their students have academic requirements and then they have like hands-on practical ministry requirements. And so I'm hoping
Wow.
that IFI will actually be able to be one of those like organizations they partner with to give their students practical hands-on experience. And so it's just super
Dude, that's
exciting
sick.
for the ministry that there's going to be a lot of students who are either volunteering or doing internships or becoming on like coming on staff eventually. So pretty
Dude,
cool.
that's awesome. That's a
Yeah,
huge win.
things are super exciting here in Chicago.
Side note, what did you talk about for 40 minutes?
I pulled up my fantasy draft and I talked about why I chose all the players I chose. No,
Why you chose Sky Moore?
exactly. Kudos. To be honest,
Thank God you didn't start him.
to be honest, it was like I don't know why I said to be honest. To lie what I talked about. No, we like when we were meeting one on one, he was like asking me questions about how I do ministry. Oh, this is what I was gonna say, to be honest. And to be honest, I just kind of talked about like honestly what being a young life leader looks like and how that's transitioned into my role with IFI. And so like I pretty much just explained what contact work was and like why relational ministry is so important with international student ministry. And so I was just like explaining how we've had a bunch of work done at the house, and so we've had plumbers come in who are from Albania, and I was just telling him about how like I use that opportunity to strike up conversation and talk and like, and then we had this guy from he was living in Ukraine. He's technically born in Uzbekistan, but he's like a Jew, so he sees Israel as his home. Like he lived in Israel for a long time, and like he was my locksmith, and I got his number, and like I invited him and his wife over for dinner with us, and so he was just like asking me questions about like how that even comes about and stuff. And so I pretty much with the class just talked about like being all things to all people and how like even though you might have an audience of who you're trying to pursue and share Jesus with, like every single person you encounter, we should be like if the opportunity arises, like we want them to know Jesus. And so how can I play a part in sharing Jesus with them, whether that's fully sharing the gospel, or it's just like loving them in a certain way. But so it was really fun. I talked about that, and then they asked me a bunch of questions, and yeah, it was really cool. One of the girls gave me an email or emailed me afterwards and like said like she was super excited that we were here and that she wants to be a part of it. And so I'm very
That's
excited.
great, dude.
It was
Awesome.
pretty wild. God orchestrating things.
That is definitely God orchestrating thing, for sure. Luke, is there anything else you wanted to share at all before we jump in?
No, not really. I mean, I kind of give you updates on life, and I mean, things are in the works at work, and but nothing to share as of yet. I was supposed to have a interview for a procurement position yesterday for the complex, but one of the managers that was supposed to interview me had to take the day off, so we had to reschedule. But that's looking pretty good. So hopefully,
That's
if
cool.
that's the case, I'll get back to not having to clock in and out. I'll get a company phone and my own desk and everything. So hopefully that works out. But like I said,
Luke,
nothing to report on
how do
that.
you go from that to being a sports analyst? Like, how do you bridge that gap?
Well, if
Do you
I'm being
tell
honest, this meeting
That's
right
what
now
we need to
counts,
figure out.
So.
do you when you go into these meetings, Luke? Do you like tell them about Enorma Stitz?
Enormous Stitz. No, I tell him about my friend Huge Ass.
I'm thinking about changing my. I thought Tucker Hardly Know was pretty funny, but I'm thinking about changing my name to kind of a homage between my old Tiggle Biddies, or yeah, Tiggle Biddies, and
Jiggle
Hugh
titties.
Jass, and just being Tiggle Jass. I think that could be pretty good.
No, Jiggle Tass.
Jiggle Tass.
That's good. I like that one.
All right, we'll do that one next.
Okay.
All right, should we get into it? Some reviews.
Yeah, let me get the board.
Who do you want to start with?
All right, should we do previews or reviews? No, we should do
reviews.
Yeah, we should do reviews first.
Okay. Guys, do we think that like week 1 was just a really low scoring week?
Oh yeah, it was.
For everybody except the person who had Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, it was not great football, I would say.
So you know what's
Specifically
crazy?
by my Cincinnati Bengals. Good Lord.
Yeah.
All right, let's go there first. Let's go to Luke's matchup versus Sam.
Dude,
who are we doing?
When Rodgers went down, I was so nervous. I was like, I'm screwed. Garrett Wilson's not gonna have a catch at all, and I'm gonna lose this game.
I know, dude. That was so disappointing. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
sad.
I have Rodgers, but like, I just feel bad for the whole Jets community and for like football.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there was a lot of hope, especially with Hard Knocks being there and him being there. I think they really thought that they had a chance, and well, that's down the toilet.
Very sad.
It was very sad, dude. This was a close matchup between you and Sam.
It was.
It really came down to Garrett Wilson.
I did, yeah. I needed him to score. I think I was behind by like 3 points and change coming into the game. I had like 86 point something. And like I said, I was like, oh, I got Aaron Rodgers throwing to Garrett Wilson. I got this in the bag. And then he went down after 18 seconds of play. But luckily he had a couple catches and then made that extremely acrobatic touchdown.
Oh my gosh.
Catch
that was insane.
Oh my gosh.
He literally backhanded it and then he cut it. That was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was insane.
Luke, your team is so good, but with Aaron Rodgers out, your wide receivers, what are you gonna do?
Deontay's doubtful. Like Deontay's not gonna play.
I mean, Nick, we were talking about this earlier when we were on the phone, but I made some acquisitions off of the waivers. I added Jacoby Myers, who I had talked to Nick about previously, and then I ended up dropping him because I didn't feel great about it. And then he scored 21 points, of course. And then I also picked up Kendrick Bourne, who had 2 touchdowns for the Patriots in week 1. So hopefully that gives me some needed depth if those guys are able to produce as much as they did week 1. Probably not as great, but, something.
You did drop like 50 total fab.
Yeah, he did. He did the opposite of me. I wasn't willing to give up more than like 10, and he dropped that big cash.
See, my thing is like I feel like I always have a lot of fab at the end of the year, and there's never really anybody that I feel that strongly about unless it's super early. So I was like, because I still have $50. So if there's somebody that really wows me, I still have an opportunity to kind of make a move, but we'll see.
Dude, I feel so bad for Sam's team. Like Sam has really good players that just didn't produce.
So I think this matchup, like both of us were, other than Eckler and Pollard, for me, it was just a story of everybody's underperforming.
Poor Sam and Breece Hall. Who would have thought that Breece Hall would have come out as? I mean, my gosh, he didn't drop a peg starting with Sam, where he left off.
Oh my gosh. No, I think the math is correct. Even if Sam would have taken out Cam Akers and started Breece, he still would have lost.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah. So that's a tough one. But if he started
Breece Hall, like in addition to all the guys he started, he would have won.
Yeah, he could have replaced.
Yeah,
No,
that's true.
not replace
Flex.
anyone. Just added another starting position with Brees Hall. He would have won if he
Well,
did
well
that.
said. Well said.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, who's
here
next?
we go. Week 1. Let's go to Joe and Hippos. Joe's Hippos.
Poor
Joe's
man.
the highest scoring team this past week.
Yeah,
Um,
Joe's team is good.
R.I.P. J. Dobbins, Achilles.
Yeah, Joe and Shar got hit with the injury bug
yeah,
very
and
quickly.
I think Joe yeah. That was a bummer for J.K. Dobbins. Like, I mean, he looked like he had it, and the way the Ravens used him too, like he was every single running style, every single type of running pass catching back. And now he's a goner. So
Yeah,
I think his career is done. Like, the dude can't stay healthy.
dude, poor
You know,
JK. He was so good at OSU.
he was really good. But let's be honest. Besides Mac Jones on Ben's team, like, besides Mac Jones and his defense barely scoring double digits, nobody else got double digits. Like, nobody.
Yeah, I
Put Michael
although
Pittman on the bench. That's rough.
Yeah.
I feel good about James Cook. That Damian Harris seemed to hardly play.
I don't know what happened to Damian, man.
No,
I
not
think he's supposed
Pierce.
to be
Damian
the.
Harris with the Bills. I'm saying,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think
he's
James
butt.
Cook. I think James Cook is going to be really good this year if he gets as many opportunities as he did.
But you also got to look at though with how many turnovers that Josh Allen had. Is he going to
Right.
have that many looks unless they're turning the ball over that much?
Right.
But I will say
After the second interception, I felt like they started running the ball a lot more.
That's fair.
Ben's team week 2 looks a lot better though. After he made some plays, made some moves. Now his lineup is, Bryce Young, Mac Jones, which okay, it's not horrible. Debo, Michael Pittman, Mike Evans, a solid wide receiver core.
Yeah, I mean, if Michael Pittman is good this year, like what everyone thought he would be last year, Ben's team isn't as bad as we give him flack for. Like he's got.
Yeah.
If Debo and Pittman and Evans can be even mediocre wide receivers and Mark Andrews, like I think Ben's team isn't as bad as we say.
Yeah, it definitely was his week 1 that just looked like, what is this ragtag team?
Yeah.
At
least he
but
didn't
also,
score as little as Moats did.
All right, let's head to Moats.
But applaud Joe Wallach. His team's pretty good. I think I think he's gonna be very good this year.
Mark
also,
the Shark.
Joe always starts out strong. He's always in first place in the first couple of weeks of the season. I don't know why, and then he falls off. So we'll see if that happens this year.
I feel like
Joe's got
Joe's
a
always been
solid
really good. Yeah, I feel like he's always really good at drafting, and then something like J.K. Dobbins ripping his Achilles or tearing his Achilles happens pretty much every year.
Yeah.
But he's still going to be up there. I think his team is still good even without Dobbins.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe Moats only scored 63 points.
Dude, T. Higgins with a big old fat goose egg. That was so disappointing.
And to be fair, it does state that like he got 8 targets, but really it was more like 1 target.
Yeah.
So that was Moats' team has some upside though. I mean, he's going to have to put Jordan Addison in. I think Jordan Addison, either this week or next, will be the number 2 receiver for the Vikings. So he can easily slot out.
I do not see Brandon Cooks being that. I know Cowboys offense hardly even had to play, but I don't know if Brandon Cooks is going to get that many looks.
Yeah.
I know he's better than Randall Cobb, but he just gives me the Randall Cobb role vibes for the Cowboys. Maybe that's not true at all.
The journeyman.
I would
Yeah,
agree with
but
that.
I would totally start Addison over him.
Yeah, I agree. Even just in week
I
one.
would start Addison. I would start Addison over Michael Thomas here. I think for Meltz's week 2 matchup, I would take out Michael Thomas, put in Jordan Addison. That's
Is
me.
Kamara back in 3 more games or 2?
3.
He'll be back week
4.
4. Yep.
Okay.
He just
Yeah,
needs to know because he needs to know when to take Jamal Williams out of his starting lineup.
Yeah, Motz's team is good. It really is, but my gosh, his team just did not show up.
No,
Mark's
but
team?
Mark's team
I like Mark's
underperforms.
team.
I do too. I
mean,
actually do think Miles Sanders will take a step up this next few weeks.
but even Mark's team is really good. He needs
Cooper
a
Kupp
solid
underperformed.
running. Say what?
Sorry, Amari Cooper underperformed as well too. Like
Yeah,
in that
I
rainy
mean,
game.
Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, like neither of them did as well as they could have for different reasons. But I mean, Mark's team has the potential to be one of the best teams in the league.
100%. Yeah.
Man, I love Justin Jefferson. He's so much fun.
He didn't have a touchdown, did he? No, he didn't.
No touchdown. No touchdown.
I think it's crazy that both of his quarterbacks scored less than his kicker in Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott. Hopefully that doesn't continue.
That's a good stat line right there.
Mark, if there's anything I can do to take Justin Jefferson off your hands, please let me know. Literally nothing's off the table. I will do anything you want for him. You know what I mean. All right, let's go to the next one.
You know what I mean. King Wu Bass.
I got to update my photo of Lucas. I think this is one from a few years ago. But this was an interesting showing between me and Mulch. I don't know what to think of Mulch's team. I think there's.
I don't know either. I mean, Brian Robinson Jr. getting 17 points. My gosh.
I think
my gosh, that's Bijan. No wonder. I was like, holy cow. Okay. No. I mean, yeah.
I think true to Mulch's personality, it's wonderfully chaotic. His team
is wonderfully chaotic.
Like I feel like his is like a big boomer bust. Like there's going to be weeks where he scores a crap ton of points, and there's going to be weeks where nothing happens.
But I think once you slot in Kelsey,
so good. Yeah,
once you slot in Kelsey,
with Kelsey, and if JT comes back in any capacity,
yep, his weakness is definitely his second quarterback. Like, I don't know why he drafted Kenny Pickett. Like,
because he's a Steelers fan.
The truth, Kenny Pickett.
If he gets a substitute for Kenny Pickett, even just like some average guy,
Zach Wilson.
I don't know. That's a tough question.
Yeah, I don't know who I would take of those two.
Yeah, guys, respond that in the group message. Would you rather have Kenny Pickett or Zach Wilson?
Need a live poll here.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but Shar, your team is phenomenal. You got the injury bug. I still think your team is going to be very good. You just gonna roll with the team, or are you gonna go for some trades?
All right, I'm for sure gonna go for some trades, but I think I swapped out Aaron Rodgers, put in Russ. I mean, dude,
it's not that big of a drop off.
It's not, but also like the Broncos only had 6 drives or something like that in that game.
Yeah, they were the slowest. That game was painful to watch. That was the longest game in terms of someone having the ball. My gosh.
And so I think even with that, like Russell was still efficient. I think they do take a bump up, especially with a tougher game like Washington. So
This man had 27 completions and only 177 yards.
yeah,
He threw 5 yards or shorter every single time.
That's how it's done.
I'm excited. I think also Russ takes a bump up when Jerry comes back. So
Is he supposed to be coming back this next week?
He's supposed to be playing. I think he was limited yesterday. I don't know about today.
I hope so. I have him in one of my other fantasy leagues, and I'm looking a little rough because I drafted Cooper Kupp, and he's going to be out for 4 weeks, at least.
Shar, are you gonna roll with having two amazing defenses, or are you gonna try to trade one of them?
I mean, I'll throw it in there, but I do love having two defenses.
But I just wouldn't know who to start. They both could go off every single week.
Yeah, like, dude, I had 37 points sitting on my bench from that defense, and I didn't have Rodgers play. Like,
That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
You also had Tyreek Hill, so.
Yeah, I mean, I had almost 50 points just sitting on my bench that would have been startable.
What?
So
Answer me this: Why does Tyreek Hill not get our wide receiver one? Like, why don't we put him with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson? I mean, I know he's right there, but like, why do people not draft him first?
I think it's because of Jello Brain Tua.
That's
weird.
Tua.
That's fair.
I think people are scared to attach Tyreek to Tua and the risk injury that comes with. But even when Tua was hurt, Tyreek went nuclear.
Tyreek has definitely, maybe him or Derrick Henry have to have the most high, like super high scoring weeks.
Yes, they do.
They have to.
Like all time, or are you talking about like of current active players?
I mean, honestly, maybe all time for fantasy wise.
Do you remember the first year that we played where we had
Peyton Manning
people? Yeah, Peyton Manning scored 118 points or something like that.
No,
and then there's
insane.
Another game that were we playing while Megatron was still playing? Because I feel like I remember him having like an 87-point game.
Yeah, we were, but wow.
I also remember when Zeke dropped like 60 points on my team one time, and I was like, wow. But
it's all downhill from there.
Remember when Ben had Amari Cooper for the Raiders or whatever it was, and he got like 2 points, and he was so pissed, and so he benched him, and then the next week he scored like 40-some points or something like that. That was the best.
That was the best. All right, Nick, your matchup versus Peter. This one, I mean, to be fair, like I feel bad for Peter because technically he scored like the 4th most or 5th most.
Yeah, and he's having a baby.
Yeah, he already had the baby.
Oh yeah, but in the moment he was having the baby. Well, he wasn't, but you know. Yeah.
Nick, some questions were answered for you. I think Calvin Ridley's legit. Aaron Jones is legit. Jordan Love showed that he's not only competent,
he can be legit.
He can play.
I think my team, barring injury, because I have absolutely no depth whatsoever, I think my team is actually much better than like it looks on paper. At least when I drafted them.
Looks pretty good.
It looks good. How do you feel about Devontae Adams?
Oh, I mean, I love him. He was going against Surtain the whole game. Like I think he's gonna get his. He's just too good of a player not to get. They're like the two guys who, which is funny. the reason I got so high on Calvin Ridley, even he's always been good, but I watched a podcast about I forget who did the podcast, but Devontae Adams was on the podcast, and he was saying who he thinks is the best wide receiver aside from himself, and he said Calvin Ridley, and I think he said Justin Jefferson, and I was like, well, then I'm gonna get Calvin Ridley this year.
Wow, that's a good inside scoop. I think.
Go ahead.
I think the days of Kyle Pitts are over, man. I just think
no, he hasn't even begun, Shar.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think the only way Kyle Pitts actually returns his legitimate NFL draft pedigree is if he gets traded, because Atlanta only runs the football.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Drake London had 0 points and like 2 targets or something. I bought into the hype of Atlanta this year, and it did not pay off so far. Week 1, but we got 1 target.
I will say, Luke, if we toss in Desmond Ridder into that conversation with Zach Wilson and Kenny Pickett, I would rather have Kenny Pickett and Zach Wilson by a landslide.
Easily.
Yeah, well,
I think we do need to pose that question to the group of Kenny Pickett or Zach Wilson. I think that would be an interesting conversation starter.
Yeah.
Or Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, Tannehill all day.
Oh gosh.
Or Ryan Fitzpatrick, even though he's retired.
Oh, I would take Ryan Fitzpatrick over every single one of those guys.
Yeah. I do think if we simulate both of Nick versus Peter 10 games, I think it would be tied 5-5. Because I mean Peter's team is
Peter's
really
very
good too.
Good. Yeah.
I mean,
he just had a rough week.
He was, I think, victim again to the underperformance. Specifically, like Jahmyr Gibbs did not get the touches that I think he should have gotten. I think David Montgomery got a lot more looks than anybody thought, and then Najee Harris, I think, through 3 quarters had like negative rush yards.
Yeah. But that's the Detroit Lions running back. Like, that's just their room. That's
I know it all too well.
So high on D Swift, and he never got. Oh man,
dude, I was high on D Swift. Oh yeah, I was high on D Swift because I drafted him. I remember, Nick, you said you wanted to trade me for him, and I was like, no, I'm starting him week 1. He's playing in Philly's hometown. It's going to be great, and he scored 0.8 points.
Yeah. Kenneth Gainwell's the man there. Yeah, I forgot about Kerryon Johnson. Is he even alive?
No, I think he retired. And by retired, I mean gone. Speaking of retired NFL players, Tariq Cohen signed somewhere. I forget where.
Dude, I like him. He's good.
He used to play for the Bears, right?
Yeah, he's the original Deuce Vaughn.
He just signed. Man, I'm missing the stat. Oh, signed with the Panthers practice squad.
Look out!
He's the original Deuce. All right, Shari, you only have till 1:30, right? We need to get moving.
Oh, we got
all right.
Ben's going to be like another hour long. Gosh dang it!
I mean, what else does he have to do the rest of the day? I mean, just watch his children. He can play this while watching his children, right?
True.
So, I mean, why don't we go for 3 hours? What's stopping us?
Poor Kelso. I think Kelso's team is so good, and his team just dropped the deuce.
His team. I mean, his team scored the second least. I think. Was that the case?
Somebody else had 80 some, I think, but yeah.
Yeah, his team dropped the second least points. That is just brutal.
That's what he gets for not texting me back and making a trade with me. Screw you, Kelso.
Mm.
You guys gonna start? If you had Ayuk, would you be starting him next week?
Yeah.
For KJ?
Yeah.
Dude,
for sure.
Insane. Brock Purdy loves him.
Yep.
He does.
Okay, what about Kyren Williams?
No. I
don't know.
I think in his lineup, right? I think you start.
Yeah,
You
his
start.
running backs are his weakest point.
I think you start Brian Robinson and golly, I guess you have to start Kyron. Like you have to. I mean,
Yeah, KJ's team is actually not bad. Like for what Danny left him, his team's pretty good. He needs to do something about his running backs, as do I. I also need to do something about my running backs. So
He's definitely stacked in the wide receiver
yeah.
department. I think he could probably leverage that into something in the running back department. Although he does have the
AJ
world beater
Staley,
Samaje P. Ryan,
yeah,
former
beater.
Bengal.
did you say the wife beater?
Yeah.
I was
Said
about to
world
say,
That too.
I think that's Ray Rice.
R.I.P.
But yeah,
If it
Kelso's
wasn't,
team,
yeah,
it's gonna be good. Don't worry, Kelso.
yeah, Kelso shouldn't worry at all. I mean, he'll have a bounce back week for sure. I will say I'm very surprised by Anthony Richardson. I think I knew Trevor Lawrence was legit, but Anthony Richardson, like, I was very surprised that he pulled that off.
Let's settle down here. All right,
Dude,
it's week 1.
but
I
I
mean,
think
he produced for fantasy.
He
he's
did.
the exact, like he's just like RG3, Lamar Jackson when they first came
No,
in and got a shot. He's just a running back that catches, like that gets the ball snapped to him. I think he'll be good in fantasy.
here was the thing that surprised me about Anthony Richardson is he actually looked okay throwing the football.
Oh no, he definitely
Um,
did. I mean, he also threw the football so many times.
Yeah.
which Justin Fields can't do yet, And I think
Yeah.
that's the worst case scenario for Anthony Richardson is Justin Fields. His best
Yes.
case is Lamar because
Yes.
Lamar figured out how to throw the football. So
Yeah.
Well, but even better than I mean, Lamar is better in the long run. But like when RG3 first came into the league, he was so good at everything. He threw and ran, and that's what he's kind of different than RG3, but that's who he reminds me of like Lamar isn't that great of a thrower, but he does a good job doing it.
mhm.
Where RG3, if he didn't get hurt and all those things go wrong, like that's what he reminds me of. Is he's not bad at anything. He's got the
Dude,
potential to be Josh Allen.
I'm interested to see, like, without Jonathan Taylor playing at least the first 4 weeks, like what the rest of those 3 weeks are going to look like. Because I thought having Taylor in there would kind of take some pressure off of him as a rookie. So I think the next couple weeks, who are they playing this upcoming week? They play Houston. Okay, that's not really.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually very impressed by Kyle's team after his players got healthy and after some moves. Like
Who's
it's
his
looking good.
starting? Who's he have starting this week?
He has Ayuk in there.
Yeah, and then Christian Watson's coming back. Like he's got some upside.
I think he could easily beat me this week. I think his team's pretty good.
And again, we're not covering Kelso's team too much because they all sucked. But
that's not going to continue to happen, though.
It's not going to continue. Like he'll have a bounce back.
Like he's I think he was again just another victim of everybody underperforming. Not as quite as bad as Moats, but like Josh Allen having 4 turnovers, it's not going to happen. Every week. I hope not, for the sake of
hopefully not.
Bills fans that I'm friends with. But yeah.
All right. Well, should we do some previews?
Yeah.
Should we do like we pick a game and then we all 3 vote who the winner is going to be?
Let's do it.
Okay.
That sounds like a good idea.
Let's go. Kelso's team versus Mulch's team. Kelso is the current favorite to win.
I think this will be the best game.
Ow.
Huh?
You think this is going to be the best matchup?
I think it's going to be the highest scoring one.
Wow.
That's a hot take.
That is a hot take.
And I'm gonna take Kelso's team.
Taking Kelso's team. Luke, what about you?
Yeah. I don't know that this is the most interesting matchup to me, but I think Kelso's team is. I certainly hope, as a Cincinnati Bengals fan, that Jamar Chase has a better week than he did last week. But yeah, I think his team is going to do a lot better. I think Josh Allen's going to come back and probably have Stephon Diggs yell at him in practice and play better this upcoming week. Yeah, I like Kelso in this matchup.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go Kelso. I think if Mulch didn't have Kenny Pickett, I definitely would be giving him the win because
Yeah.
Mulch has some really good matchups this week for his players. Like, I mean, he's got guys like, I mean, Kelsey's back and they're playing Jacksonville. Like, they're going to be throwing the football a bunch that game.
Yeah.
Like Bijan, I think is going to go crazy versus the Packers. This Jalen Hurts guy, I think, is going to run 1 billion yards.
Yeah, I think Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen are going to have huge weeks because neither of them had great weeks this past week.
Yeah, but I definitely give it up to Kelso for sure.
Yeah.
So look at the second ranked team and the fourth ranked team, Biddies and Kyle.
Yeah, I want my team to win, and I think my team actually is pretty good. But with my running back situation, I guess KJ also has a running back issue.
Yeah. I would say you're in a much better position in the running back department than he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It might be very close. I think it might depend on like if Jordan Love can come close to doing what Anthony Richardson and Trevor Lawrence do. Because Jimmy G's hopefully probably going to get like a regular 12 to 16 points. If Jordan Love can score close to what Trevor and Anthony Richardson do, then I think that I have a chance to win.
I think it comes down to Aaron Jones if he's actually healthy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because, I mean, I think Devontae and Calvin Ridley are going to have the craziest games. Like, it's going to be, yeah. I'm gonna have to give this one to KJ though. I think
that's totally fine.
Yeah, KJ's gonna get the dub on this one.
That's totally fine. I'm not disappointed at all.
I have no idea. I'm gonna go me just so I can believe in my own team, but I would not be surprised if I did not perform well this week.
Yeah, I actually, when I was looking at these earlier, I think this is, for me, the most interesting matchup just because I feel like you guys have very similar upside and very similar downside in regards to your wide receivers and running backs. So I think this is going to be the most interesting game to watch for me personally. But I think that Kyron Williams and Brian Robinson both outperformed big time this past week, and I don't think they're going to follow that up with week 2 and the same thing. So I think Nick's going to win this one.
Oh, come on, Luke. Thanks, brother.
Wow.
I hope that Jamal Williams can be Detroit Lions Jamal Williams. He needs to get his swagger back. I think I got my swagger back.
All right, we got Luke versus Peter.
Oh man, some douchebag, Enormous Stitz.
Oh, Enorma Stitz.
Enorma, yes, Enorma.
Yeah, what a horrible crap team.
Luke, what happened to your team, man?
Dude, listen, again, underperforming. You should see my team in my other fantasy league. I scored 56 points. And before you were like, wow, that's horrible. Keep this in mind. That's a PPR league. And I scored 56 points. Dude,
no.
And I played the guy, he has both Tyreek and Christian McCaffrey, who those two players outscored my whole team. He beat me 157 to 56.
Oh no, he beat
And I
you
was
by 100 points.
101 points, and I was projected to win the whole league. I've gone from projected number 1 to projected number 9 out of 10.
Oh no.
It was rough, but yeah, I have a lot of conflicting things in this matchup because in that other league I have Tua and I have Jahmyr Gibbs, so I hope they do well, but not. I hope obviously
Too well.
Yeah.
With that, Luke, I'm actually.
Oh,
I
you
think
mean
I'm gonna
not-
actually give you the
not-
win.
Not too well.
Damn you.
Oh man.
Yeah,
that's
Luke,
good.
I think I'm gonna give you the win on this one. I think.
I hope so, man. I'm really nervous.
Well, I guess
But-
it's Eckler, right? Like it depends on
Yeah.
Eckler.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
I'm nervous
Jacoby
to see
Myers
what.
plays and Austin Eckler plays, I think you'll beat Pete. I don't know if Najee Harris and Jahmyr Gibbs are gonna be as good as they could be this year.
Well, I mean, even if you look at the amount of touches that Jahmyr got in Week 1 against the Chiefs, it wasn't great. Obviously, not I think what anybody thought he was going to get, but he was also a turf monster, a trip away from getting a rushing touchdown. Because he tripped there. I think they were somewhere in the red zone. He tripped there and almost scored a touchdown. But
I thought you said a Russian touchdown. I was like, I don't know it. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. He celebrates in the end zone with Putin. It's great.
It's like a throbbing bicycle.
Nick, who are you taking on this?
I'm gonna take Luke's team.
Yeah.
Pete's
It's
gonna be
close,
too
though.
carried away with like being a dad this week. Somebody's gonna get hurt. He's not gonna put him in on time. Joe's gonna have to make an exception for him because he's a new dad. So we're gonna give him a chance, and then he gets to trade out whoever he wanted, and then he's gonna lose anyways. And so we're gonna get upset with Joe because he's a dictator. I'm just kidding. I'm taking Luke's team.
Yeah, I wish I could have the confidence in my team to pull out the dub, but I think I might have to go against myself here and pick Pete's team. I think he's going to make a bounce back in Week 2 in his running backs. So I'm going to go with Pete. You're welcome, Peter. Congratulations on being a dad.
Chris versus Ben.
I'm more of a Stitz guy than a Sacks guy, so I'm going with you.
I respect
that. Chris versus Ben. I'm gonna have to give the W to Ben.
Ben?
Really? That's crazy.
I'm gonna give the W to Ben. I think Dameon Pierce has a bounce back week. I think James Cook gets the a little bit more of the lion's share of that backfield. I think
Will
Pittman
Bryce
absolutely
Young
just
do well?
destroys Houston. I think Bryce Young will do okay.
I think
Mark
this could be a
Andrews
pretty good
finally being
matchup,
back.
actually.
Yeah, I'm actually going to give the edge to Ben. It all depends on if Mac Jones is legit and if Bryce Young can put up 10 points.
I also think it's going to be close, but truthfully, if I'm looking at this, I'm looking at it's going to come down to the New England defense playing Miami, and I think 5.67 points is a very generous projection. I think could be somewhere in the negatives, and I think that could end up hurting Moats. Obviously, I'm pulling for his team, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a close one.
Jeez, I don't know. Is Mark Andrews for sure playing?
Let's see if he practiced. Limited still. Limited yesterday. We don't know about today.
Oh, jeez. I actually do want to choose Ben here because I like his lineup. But I
mean, we're also underestimating the fact that Saquon is one of those guys that drops 60 points.
Yeah, 100%. And same with Justin Fields. And I believe in Justin Fields. I am a Chicago Bear now, so I'm going to go Moats.
Yeah,
just on the shoulders of Saquon and Justin. And I think T. Higgins has a bounce back.
I hope so. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Moats as well.
wow. Most taking the W. Close one, Ben. Now we get Sam. Guys, what is up with Waddle?
Dude, he's so good.
Oblique?
He's
How do
fine.
you hurt your oblique?
I'll tell you how.
Ooh-wee.
All right. This one's going to my brother. They all rest on the shoulders of Geno Smith.
Gee whiz, I don't know.
But Joe's team is not bad at all. Joe's team, man, I don't know. I think I could give it to Joe's team as well. It all depends on which head quarterback, Patrick Mahomes or Justin Herbert, absolutely kills it this week.
Is Ramondre Stevenson gonna be as good as he should be this year, or is Zeke gonna steal his chances?
I think this is the game he blows up.
If that's true, then I'll go Sam's team. But I don't know. I just feel bad for both of those guys, Breece Hall and Stevenson. They're so good. But
I think with Rodgers. Sorry.
Oh, I just was gonna say, like, they both have these veterans who do deserve touches, but they're gonna take touches away.
Well, I personally think with Rodgers being out and how well Breece Hall did, even in sharing carries, because he still shared quite a bit with Dalvin Cook.
Oh, I know.
Cook didn't have a bad game at all. I think that they're gonna give him the ball a lot more moving forward, especially with Zach Wilson at quarterback. So I'm gonna have to go with Sam's team here. I think it's going to be really close, and I think you're right, Char. I think it's going to come down between that quarterback matchup and who plays better between Herbert and Mahomes, for sure.
All right, I want to hop on the train. I'll go with Sam. I want Sam to win, and I think his team could be better than Joe's. I just don't know, but I'm going to go with Sam's team with you guys.
Yep. All right, boys, I have to bounce. So
You're good.
I feel bad to do this to Mark because we didn't cover him last week.
No. But right, real fast. Who do we choose?
I'm going to go with Char.
I choose Mark just because of Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
I'm riding the Tyreek Hill train. Go Char.
Boys, thank you for hopping on this call.
Yeah, sorry. We'll try to figure out how to make it shorter. Maybe I'll talk less. Maybe not.
All right, guys. Good talking with you.
See you guys.
See you guys.